Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 16th of July, 2024. Come at this episode of the Crusty Podcast, episode 301, Shock and Awe, the aftermath of the assassination attempt of Donald J. Trump, and, of course, some of the backlashes from the left wing, from the right wing, the chicken wing, you name it. Oh, my goodness, the drama is going to unfold here on the podcast tonight. Listener and viewer discretion is advised because I will swear, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, maybe burp, fart, I don't know, but I'll be making fun of politicians. Nonetheless, please, ladies and gentlemen, stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues, and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 301. My God, 301 episodes of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Shock and awe, aftermath, the assassination attempt of Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump. Yes, my apologies there. I hope you're all sitting cozy because this is going to be a real humdinger here, ladies and gentlemen. And this podcast is also brought to you in part by and supported by Veterans for Freedom Network. That's right, Stand To, Veterans for Freedom. And coming soon, ladies and gentlemen, Veterans Freedom TV, like-minded individuals such as myself and others out there will be on a network of some sort in the near future. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Thank you once again to everybody who came out to my live stream, even though I had some audio issues here too. I've tried to rectify it the best of my ability. I've done some email tag with my provider, StreamYard, see what's going on here, tried a different browser, blah, 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 blah. Rewired this, rewired that, see what's going down. I'm pretty sure it's not this. I'm pretty sure it's not that. So it might be this service, maybe my internet connection. I don't know, but please bear with me nonetheless. And thank you out there to my new subscribers. I've just did a count. I'm about 11,300 plus right now. So, oh my God. Fantastic. Thank you very much. My new subscribers out there. I don't care where you're from, just as long as you're not some brand new guy who wants to say a comment and get paid for it. I'm doing the work, you pay me. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Anyway, make a long story short, as the title card says, shock and awe. So the past few days has been nothing but Trump this, Trump that. Okay? Firstly, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, I personally don't care where anyone sits on the political fence. If you are a total tyrant, a total evil person, as far as I'm concerned, you deserve to get. Rhymes with pot, right? I'm going to try my best not to self-censor, but I'm going to try to be a little more polite here on the podcast, you know. Try to be a little more friendly and kind and cuddly bubbly. No, fuck that. Who am I kidding in here anyway? We got one of the most powerful nations sitting south of us, okay? And someone tried to unalive. Why do people keep saying that? Someone tried to really hurt the man bad to a point of his demise, okay? So let's be realistic here. Now, I've seen footage of where the apparent shooter was laying, about 148 yards, 150 meters, give or take a few feet here and there, and how he was never scanned or halted or searched or any kind of attempt to stop him prior to him pulling his little trigger, doing his pew-pew. Okay, now, it's good to see that Mr. Trump survived it. It's good to see that the security was on him like a fat kid and a smarty. But needless to say, it's some of the snipers that I have watched, one from the RCMP and one who is part of the JTF, Mr. Dallas Alexander, who holds the record for the longest kill, by the way. They beg to differ. They beg to differ that this was just some kind of random kid or some random radical lefty or righty or whatever this kid may be. Okay, I'm going to read a story here from NBC down in the States in regards to what they've assessed over the past couple of days. And you decide, my audience. Like I always say, I want you, my audience, to decide, to think for yourselves, to make up your mind and draw your own conclusion based on the facts that have been presented to you, either from myself or other sources or other podcasters or other people in general. Okay? I think people are starting to wake up and smell the coffee, especially when it comes to politics and priorities. Now, we've heard the Prime Minister condemn it. We've heard Jagmeet Singh condemn it. Yves Blanchette, the leader of Les Blocs Québécois. And we've heard Pierre Poilievre condemn it. Now, there was a Twitter there I had saved. I don't know where it is right now. Like, long story short, where they wish the shooter was demised. Okay? Now, the way I look at it, if anyone takes the initiative to assassinate an individual for political beliefs, now I'm not saying assassinating somebody because you disagree with their tax policy or you want to hurt somebody because they disagree with words. Now, there's plenty of people out there in this generation that want to hurt you because of the words. I think the American people have just resealed the deal when it comes to this November's election. Okay? Honestly, my best guess is this. Mr. Trump is going to be a shoo-in for the next election because of this. They made him a martyr. He is a martyr. He lived through it. And regardless of how many times you watch it, he stood up and he just basically said, fight. Okay? And you're not going to break him. Now, whether you love the man or hate the man, I think he's kind of goofy. But when you look back at his record and what he did, he followed through on what he promised. He kept peace. He got people working. The economy was doing really well in the United States. And people did nothing but make fun of him. And it was proven wrong that the Russiagate failed. All these conspiracies, they said that he did, and all these terrible things, just didn't see the light of day. And if he was such a thud fuck, if he was such a moron, why would they let him run again? Huh? If he was a diehard criminal, a diehard felon, right? If he was a murderer or an adventurous, touchy-feely kind of person, took a risk with someone else's body. I'm not going to say that magical word. I don't want to be shadow banned, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm getting tired of this tiptoeing around. If he actually committed a nasty, unfair assault on somebody, you would think there'd be a little more prosecution and persecution in the mix, regardless of how rich he is or not. Mr. Weinstein was a very, very rich man. Look what happened to him. So regardless of what people think about this guy or think about that guy, you know, it's not right what happened to him. Now, as much as I loathe our prime minister, as much as I loathe the liberal brand that's in this country right now in the name of liberalism, I really don't think they should be pew-pewed. I don't think they should be threatened that way. I don't think any politician should be threatened that way, to be honest with you. But there will be coming a day, hopefully soon, where every member of said party that I just mentioned is going to have a comeuppance, is going to have their day of reckoning. They are going to reap what they sow, ladies and gentlemen, putting this country into debt, making people miserable, saying, oh, your rebates are in the mail. You should be grateful for our efforts for you. When we all know it's just a big ball of shit, and we're going to start throwing it back.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
You're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 301 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Shock and awe, the aftermath of the assassination attempt of Donald J. Trump. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And once again, thank you very much to my new subscribers out there and to everyone who stuck around during my live stream, working out these kinks and all that too. If you do hear some crackling or some audio issues, please let me know in the comments. Just give me a thumbs up, whatever. Click like, subscribe, all that stuff. Share this content on all your social media platforms too. And please use the Buy Me a Coffee app or the Ask Me app to support this podcast financially if you can. There's some incentive there in the Buy Me Coffee app. If you donate a consistent $3 a month, you will automatically be into a draw where at the end of the month, I'll pick a name and you get yourself a free t-shirt. If you give $10 a month, you'll get yourself a free t-shirt, a hat, and a swimsuit for your loved one, either your girlfriend, your wife, your partner, or whoever identifies. Bring out your inner Baywatch. Anyway, needless to say, you get some free Gucci kit from the Crusty Canuck shop there, ladies and gentlemen. Or you can just check out the shop in the link in the description. At your own leisure. Anyway, carrying on with this episode again. Shock and awe. It is. It is. Now, the outcome of this is really, really weird because you still have your lefties and your righties. You still have your individuals that say, oh, well, they shouldn't have missed. There's a UBC professor who's getting in trouble as we speak right now for saying such terrible things, right? But she's got the freedom to do it. Okay, I'm an advocate for free speech, but I'm not an advocate for bad taste either, right? So you, my wonderful audience, you decide, whatever. But when it comes to an educated official wishing that kind of turmoil on somebody, I think it's pretty bad. And especially if you're in a position of authority and you're teaching people, come on. So I'd say maybe pay a fine or give her a slap and tickle for someone else's pickle and call it a day. That's just me, though, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't really matter. Make a long story short, let the punishment fit the crime. Now, the individual was 20 years old. Apparently, he was a registered Republican. Apparently, he was allowed to own a firearm, per se. But apparently, he was in some Black Rock video. He was also seen, I think, hanging out with Antifa, apparently. Who knows, right? But Harrison Faulkner from the True North Center did a great interview with Dallas Alexander. I will leave that video in the link here so you guys can follow along. And Mr. Dallas Alexander is an ex-soldier, ex-JTF, Special Forces. He is now really in tune with his art. He's a singer-songwriter. But he explained to Harrison Faulkner the exact detail what you would do when it comes to protecting somebody in any situation similar to what Donald Trump had this past weekend. So it would be food for thought for you, my wonderful audience. Think about that too, right? And what gets me is that the rebuttals, what some people have said too. I got an article here. I'll read the NBC article here for you first. Like I say, you guys decide. But I have another article that will be, it's quite entertaining to say the least. But I'll read the NBC stories for you. And you guys just decide on what you think is right. Okay, now this comes from 2 days ago. Right, I'm not going to cue the video. I'm just going to read it verbatim to the best of my ability, not waste too much of your time here. But this is also from NBC to our friends in the States here. This is from the 13th of July, so 3 days ago, just after. So by NBC News and Matt Lavides, did I pronounce that right? Doesn't really matter. Anyhow, former President Donald Trump was shot during a rally in Pennsylvania this Saturday. He was immediately shielded and taken to safety after his ear was injured. Details are emerging about how it happened and the identity of the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, age 20. President Joe Biden delivered an address from the Oval Office on Sunday night and said he was grateful Trump was not seriously hurt. Where did it happen? Of course, it happened in Pennsylvania. Presidential campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, a city western part of the state, about an hour's drive north of Pittsburgh. Oh, it's Steelers country, I think. What happened about 6 minutes into Trump's speech, the former president could be seen clutching his ear after popping noises rang out at the rally. Trump ducked to the ground and several Secret Service agents, say that 3 times really fast, rushed to the stage and surrounded him on all sides. There were screams from onlookers and the scene unfolded. Roughly a minute later, agents helped Trump get up from the ground and stand. He held his fist up the crowd, prompting cheers from supporters. Several agents then rushed him off the stage and escorted him into a vehicle. Blood could be seen from Trump's ear and the side of his face. He later said on his social media site, Truth Social, that a bullet pierced the upper part of his right ear. And you can see recent photos that he also has a Band-Aid on, too, ladies and gentlemen. According to preliminary reports, which could change as the crime scene is processed, 8 shots were fired by the shooter, officials said. So Trump was talking about Biden's policies on immigration when shots were fired. 1 spectator died. 2 others were critically wounded. Pennsylvania State Police Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens said. The man who died was 50-year-old former firefighter Corey Competitor. Pennsylvania government Josh Shapiro said Sunday. He said Competitor, whom he called a hero, moved to protect his wife and 2 daughters when gunshots were heard at the rally. So my condolences to those families. My deepest condolences to those families down there. 2 people who were wounded were David Dutch, 57, of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, and James Copenhaver, 74, of Moon Township, Pennsylvania. Both are being treated for at Allegheny General Hospital in Pittsburgh, and are listed as being stable condition. Witnesses describe hearing loud popping noises, with one person saying they saw someone who was shot in the back of the head. Another person said that she saw someone bleeding profusely. Representative Ronnie Jackson, Republican, Texas, said in a statement that his nephew was injured in the shooting. Jackson said that his family was seated near Trump, and that after they heard the shots, his nephew realized something has grazed and cut his neck. He said his nephew's injuries was not serious and he's doing well. You know, and what gets me is that they have the audacity. Now look at this here. Was it an assassination attempt? Which agencies are investigating? Well, of course, the man was shot at rally. Of course it was an assassination attempt. Like, come on, NBC. You're better than that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave this article in for your reading pleasure. And you decide, my wonderful audience, you decide. You take it for what it is and learn from it, right? And it's an abomination. It's just ridiculous how some of these people roll and really don't care. Like, it doesn't matter how you feel about this guy or that guy. Someone tried to kill him. Right? Do the math.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 301 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Shock and awe. Aftermath of the assassination attempt of Donald J. Trump. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear you see, click like, subscribe, share this content all over your social media platforms. Please do not be shy. Give me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Every time you see a Crusty Canuck video, comment, thumb up, like, all that good stuff. Help us Canucks get our words out there, especially my American audience. I really appreciate your support, too. If you can, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me some comments. Pass it all over your friends, too. I'm not one of those podcasters that's going to sell himself short for the sake of a few bucks. I'd like to make some money doing this, but I feel like I'd rather do this honestly and officially by presenting to you my point of view, presenting to you the work I do in making this, rather than shaking my buttocks and trying to sell my coochie for $6.99 on some OnlyFans page, right? Oh, my God. I will not stoop to that level. Needless to say. Anyway, carrying on, I'm digressing. So here's an article from... what the hell is it? From Variety Magazine, I guess the Hollywood ragtag, the Hollywood thing. And, excuse me, Kyle Gass apologizes for Trump assassination remark that led to the Tenacious D tour cancellation. Highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. So I guess Tenacious D were performing in Australia, and Jack Black there sat and gave his partner a nice birthday cake to celebrate his 64th birthday. And I'll just read along here. For your listening pleasure. That's right. Time for sexy radio. Enough of that crap. But yeah, I think you're going to see how this is working out. Everybody in the hard left with all of their BS and their virtue signaling and everything. You know, it was De Niro that said a few years back he wanted to do nothing but punch Donald Trump in the face. You know, I would love to punch our prime minister in the face a couple of times. I'd like to punch all of them in the face. But hey, I'm not De Niro. I'm not De Niro. Anyhow, Kyle Gass apologizes for Trump assassination remark that led to Tenacious D's tour cancellation, highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. Oh, I bet you would feel bad now. Tenacious D band member Kyle Gass has issued an apology on social media amid blowback following his controversial remark on the assassination attempt against Donald Trump. Gass admitted the remark was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. Amid the controversy, Gass bandmate Jack Black announced Tenacious D was canceling its current tour and all future creative plans. Okay, so you guys are getting the taste of cancellation, right? How does it feel? Honestly, how does it feel? Not too good, right? Especially when it affects your career. So when you say something stupid, that's fine. Now you see the wheels are turning right now. I personally don't care what you guys believe in, Tenacious D. I thought your music was pretty cool, and I thought your movie was kind of funny. Regardless, it didn't make a lot of money at the box office. I thought Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny was an excellent fucking film. It was funny. Hey, good. Entertaining. But you've got to hang your head in shame now. So now everybody that's situated around Tenacious D, doesn't matter if you're the agents, the managers, publicists, everyone who's a fan, who knows both of those lads, now you've got a taste of cancellation. How does it feel? Doesn't feel too good, does it? Feels pretty shitty that you got to compromise your well-being and you got to compromise your livelihood because of words. I would say, carry on with your fucking tour. Well, just watch what you say about certain things and just be yourselves. Like I said, I'm a free speech absolutionist. I don't care what you say. You just deal with what you say. I don't believe you should be fired for saying this. I don't believe you should be fired for saying that. But a good scolding is always good and always adequate. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave this article in my description. You guys decide, you wonderful, lovely people. You guys decide on your own and make your own conclusion, okay? Because we're seeing both angles here. It's wrong what happened, okay? And as a Canadian, all right, we don't get to see a lot of that kind of violence in Canada. We don't. I can't even. I remember high school history. They talked about one prime minister who was actually shot at per se, but I don't remember who, when, what, or why. But we are seeing violence on the rise, and my concern is that are they going to use this as an excuse to further a gun grab? Are they going to use this as an excuse to debate about this when it comes to personal firearm ownership for myself or my friends, my other hunting buddies, my other shooters? Right? Who knows? Who knows what we're going to take out of this? Liberals done far a lot worse. They can't even decide who's going to goddamn lead the country. They can't decide who's going to be the deputy prime minister. We don't even need one anyway, to be honest with you. They're not even going to decide who's going to be the finance minister because rumor has it Ms. Freeland's on her way out because she's not performing well for Justin. Oh my God. What's happening? Nobody effing cares because they're both lousy politicians. Okay? They're both lousy politicians. Oh, I'm taking a sip of my coffee here. Ah, great coffee. Coffee and tobacco. Right. So, needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a good thing. So, let's just try to be civil about this. Let's try to find both angles, no pun. Let's just try to find common ground on this. This incident has actually made Mr. Trump look more popular than ever. Okay, we've heard Joe Biden speaking. My American friends out there, I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care if you're Libertarian. Vote for the better person that's going to represent you and your values, like we should up here in Canada too. I think the smartest thing that our government can do is just sit back and shut up and enjoy the summer. Because come the fall, things are going to fly. Maybe we might call an early election as well, too. Who knows? I know up here, once an election is called, the powers that be got 40 days to sort their shit out before people put their ballots in. So, who knows what's going to happen? If I was the Governor General, I'd call one right away. I would say, enjoy your summer, because it's going to be one hell of a fall. No pun. I would also say, if I was the Governor General, I'd probably step down because she spent too much damn money on things, right? But, I'm digressing again, too. So when it comes to the chastising and the comments, all major leaders in this country have condemned what happened. And that's fine. That's understandable. Okay? That I can understand. But needless to say, is it going to come up here? Is the same mentality going to come up here? Is Pierre Poilievre going to have a conversation, have a rally, and someone's going to take some cracks at him? Is it going to happen to our prime minister, the potato puppet, Mr. Pert Plus, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau? Is someone going to take a shot at Ms. Freeland? Is someone going to take a shot at her replacement? Is someone going to take a shot at Yves Blanchette of Les Québécois, Le Parti Le Bloc? Is someone going to take a shot at Jagmeet Singh, even though he's a walking contradiction? Who knows, right? So I have to up the ante and up the security up here too, just in case. No pun, but just really. According to an interview that Pierre Poilievre had there on Talk Radio 1010 out of Toronto, he's had threats, idle threats, nasty emails, letters, what have you. Okay, par for course. But then again, when you look at what Mr. Trump did, when he stood up with his fist up, a couple of scars in his face and part of his ear shot off, what's that tell you? Regardless of how many billions he has, whatever conspiracies are going on out there, my goodness, what has he done? He stood his ground, right? That's admirable. He stood his ground. What if that was Justin in the same picture and he was doing a rally outside of Montreal and someone had the audacity to take a him, and he did that. Well, he'd be deemed as a hero, right? And so be it. So be it. So my American friends out there, please, think about it, what you're going to do for your next election. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. It's none of my damn business, but you got to judge on actions, ladies and gentlemen. You got to judge on the actions. And we can compare the American politics to Canadian politics, the back and forth, the bantering. You can sit and listen to the Liberals complain all the time about American-style politics coming up here. Yeah, they're the first ones to throw shit and mud at anything different than their mentality. And we've seen it the past couple of years, especially during the pandemic and after the pandemic. So it's food for thought, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen the aftermath, and we just got to start thinking better, making better decisions. It's that simple. Whether you love to hate the guy, he's still going on strong. So that's probably one, millions of brownie points already for him come November of this year. But that's all I got to say about that, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 16th of July, 2024. I wish good things for you all out there. Don't be shy. Get out, enjoy the weather, enjoy the summer. I will be heading to Ontario come the 1st of August until about the 20th. So I'll be seeing some family, some friends, and I'll keep you as updated as I should. But I'm going to take this time to spend time with my family, my father, my stepmother, my sisters, and some old high school chums I haven't seen in about 8 years. So I'm going to take the time to create. I'm still writing a screenplay. I'm writing another screenplay as we speak. Some plans fell through. We had a producer lined up to do what we call a sizzler. It's not really working right now. He's too busy, so we'll see what's going on with that. But I'll keep you posted on that information too if you want to know. Just remember, click like, subscribe, share this content all over your social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be shy whatsoever. Just get out there and pass this Canadian content all over the place to the best of your ability. I don't care if you're in England. I don't care if you're in Nigeria. I don't care if you're watching from the Philippines, Estonia, Belgium. I don't care. You see this video, you see this podcast, share it with people. Share it with 5, share it with 10, share it all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Help us connect, get our words out there before our beloved woke government wants to censor it. All right? Like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 16th of July, 2024. I wish good things for you all out there. Get out there, do some yard work. Don't forget to hydrate. Don't forget your sunblock. And don't buy the hype of this whole climate catastrophe. It's summertime here. It's going to be dry and it's going to be hot. That's simple. But don't be caught, without enough water. Get enough water into you and do what you can. Help each other out. Be good to your friends, neighbors. Be good to yourself, too. Take some time just to thank yourself and show yourself some gratitude. And give your loved ones a good hug and kiss, too. That's just me, though, without getting sappy, breaking into tears. But let's just do what we can. We'll overcome this, and let us find the light in the manufactured darkness. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care. I hope to see you in a couple of days in another episode. Cheers.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Mama thinks I'm pretty.